Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yo Antah Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhilashakti-dharasvadhamna अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् समचरणसरोजम् सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जघननिहितपाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमालाम् कन्धरम् कञ्जनेत्रम् सदयधवलहासम् विठ्ठलम् चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलम् चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are in chapter 8, about to complete it tonight. We'll begin from OV number 259. Over to you, Shri Hariji.
Had I been having some good past karma, I might not have been born in a very low caste. I am using six in order to live. I am really a sinner beyond comparison. 260. Thus, I am fully fallen, and the Lord of the world is the purifier of such fallen persons, and that is why He has made me a wise person of discrimination and apathy. 261. It is by these thoughts of ascetic nature that the pain caused by my evil thoughts has been removed, and I have been lucky to feel the happiness in the state of Atman. 262. Unfortunate are those who do not become as ascetic by suffering, but see the great blessing of the Lord. He has brought for me the bliss through the door of sorrow.
मैवं स्युर्मदभाग्यायाः क्लेशा निर्वेदहेतवः येनानुबन्धन् निर्हत्य पुरुषः शममृच्छति.
Meaning of the verse, had I been unfortunate, I would not have met with miseries, which have produced the feeling of disgust for the world. It is this loss of all hope which enables man to snap the fetters of the home, etc., and obtain peace. 263. Unfortunate person becomes very angry if he has to face sudden calamity and pain. Those who lose their discriminative sight should be considered unfortunate. 264. One who is awakened and becomes ascetic as soon as he experiences severe suffering gets his knot of attachment loosened and immediately becomes inwardly happy. 265. Discrimination and desirelessness are the great treasure for a man of serious thought, and by that they get happiness and peace. 266. I was unfortunate in the past, but God has given me this boon of desirelessness, which is the treasure of great noblemen, and therefore I am blessed in the three worlds.
तेनोपकृतमादाय शिरसा ग्राम्य सङ्गताः त्यक्त्वा दुराशाः शरणं व्रजामि तमधीश्वरम्.
Meaning of the verse. Bearing on my head the burden of his obligations and giving up vicious hopes of sense enjoyments, now I shall seek resort with the said Lord. 267. God has blessed me and created this sense of desirelessness, and thus he has destroyed my dirty desire and removed my vulgar objectives. 268. Having those obligations on my head, I surrender myself to the Lord Sri Krishna, who is the controller of the entire world.
सन्तुष्टा श्रद्दधत्येयत् यथा लाभेन जीवति विहराम्यनुनैवाहम् आत्मना रमणेन वै.
Meaning of the verse, now being contented and having faith and living on whatever I have got, I'll freely live on with my beloved in my heart. 269. When I surrender myself to him, I will naturally be happy in this world. I have great faith in my heart, and therefore I will leave everything to destiny. 270. I will enjoy oneness with that Almighty God, whose grace great seers enjoy. That Paramatman is my husband, who fulfills the aspirations of the seekers who are having no desires in this world. 271. If it is asked, why one should serve and devote oneself to God by discarding great powerful deities like Brahma? 272. My answer to this is only the kind Srihari who upholds and frees the stupid and evil creatures also is the real God who will ferry me across the ocean of this world.
संसारकूपे पतितं विषयैर्मुषिते क्षणं ग्रस्तं कालाहिनात्मानं कोऽन्यस्त्रातुमधीश्वरः.
Meaning of the verse, who else is powerful enough to liberate the being who has fallen in the deep well of his mundane life, whose vision has been blinded by sense objects, and who has been caught by the serpent that is death? 273. The worldly life is a dark, deep well, and people who are blinded by the attachment to the objects are fallen in it. They do not find the way out. 274. Some are drowned in the waters of imagination and caught in the waves of passions, while some are bitten by the aquatic animals of hypocrisy and pride. Some are caught in the mud of greed and hankering. 275. Some are thrown on the cliffs of pain, while some are fastened to the steps of the heavenly staircase. Some fell from there also and were suffocated by the waters of the worldly life. 276. Those who were atheists were completely gulped by the deep waters. Those who are attached to the ceremonies and worships held on the crevices of the boulders of karma, and those who were belonging to the categories discarded by the Vedas went to the lowest base of that well. 277. There, the sharp thorns of criticism cut through their bodies, and some were with broken hearts by the heating of the stones of hatred. 278. In that well, the waters of passion and desire were being thrown up from the bottom, and the water became turgid, and the souls were suffocated. 279. Rock pieces were loose from the stone walls on the heads. The men were finished. The crocodiles of women caught people and swallowed them. 280. The serpent, which is time as death, suddenly eats all people at a time. The people are killed by poison and are estranged from wisdom. 281. When a serpent bites a man, he finds jaggery bitter and neem leaves are sweet to him, so he eats them hurriedly. 282. Similarly, for people attached to the family life, find that the objects of senses are sweet, though actually they are poisonous in their effect. They find the spiritual life bitter, though it is sweet in its effects. 283. Those who are outside this well do not see those who are in it, and those who are in it do not see others who are out of that well. 284. O Hrishikesh, who has the daring except you to bring out those fallen people and save them? So, O the kindest one, please let me see you immediately. 285. O Lord Krishna, you are the God Narayana in our heart, who can save us from this well. So please come and remove all the troubles of the worldly life from me. 286. Pingala further said, I have understood this, and therefore I am surrendering myself to the God's feet, and I have faith that by his grace the misery of my mundane life will be destroyed.
आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो गोप्ता निर्विद्येत यदाखिलात् प्रमत्त इदं पश्यत् ग्रस्तं कालाहिना जगत्.
Meaning of the verse, Atman is the protector of himself. When he is fed up with all, observing that the whole world is caught by the serpent of death, he is still steady in himself. 287. I have understood that when there is apathy and unattachment about everything in the world, we ourselves become our own saviors. 288. That apathy is of such a nature that when a man is asleep, he is not aware when even the divine Ramba comes near him, and he is not disturbed even though various mental disturbances try to attack him. 289. He is not at all attracted towards any objects, just as there is no desire for any food which is vomited by somebody. 290. How can the desirelessness be attained? It is possible this way. If you observe with some discernment, you will see that death has engulfed the world from all sides. Nobody can escape from his class. 291. The grandfather and the father have been whisked away by death. The son and the grandson are digested by the death. Seeing this, there are persons who are so thick skinned that they are not afraid of death and are not a bit apathetic. They have really wasted their human life. 292. The world is itself called the region of death. The heaven is also equally temporary. Why should one have ambition for a heavenly pleasures? Having no quality of desirelessness, all the people have become lamentably unfortunate.
ब्राह्मण उवाच एवं व्यवसितमतिः दुराशाङ्कान्ततर्षजा चित्वोपशममास्थाय शय्यामुपविवेश सा.
Meaning of the verse, Avadhuta said, thus having established firm decision in her mind, she snapped asunder her hope for a customer, and having a strange peace of mind, she happily slept on her bed. 293. Avadhuta said to the king Yadu, thus the prostitute was very fortunate because she had awakened her power of discrimination and the quality of detachment. 294. She thought on these lines about her own welfare and decidedly cut off her dirty designs about the strangers who were her customers and were a source of disgrace, difficulties, and diseases. 295. Those were the difficulties, though which there are repeated births and deaths, and the soul had perforce to suffer from misery and sorrow. 296. She broke and uprooted the entanglements of sins with the force of intelligent apathy, and having peace of mind instantly, she began to enjoy the great bliss of self-knowledge. 297. When she took refuge at the feet of Lord, who was in her heart and who gave her permanent happiness, all the doubts and diversions in her mind were removed, and she became united with her beloved Lord, the Atman. 298. As soon as she experienced the Lord as united with her, she embraced him by her very being and became happy with herself. 299. The speech went away with words, the shyness was abashed, and the duality of the observer and the observed was no more. Thus, objects lost their inroads into consciousness. 300. The mind became happy with happiness, and happiness was the image of her mind. Decision and doubt become one in the self-bliss. 301. Sugar dissolves in water and makes water sweet. Similarly, through dejection, she could meet her beloved Lord and became one with him. 302. Purpose was usurped. Existence and non-existence became lifeless and cold. Experience lost its sanity, and the love of both became supreme. 303. Dropping the sense of separate I and you, there was embrace of serene unity, and on the bed of trance, she slept with her beloved. 304. Fearing that Maya's evil eye may spoil everything, she waved off the evil omens by salt and neem through crores of intuitive inspirations from the Supreme Person. 305. Thus, Pingala slept happily on the most comfortable bed of transcendental calm. Avadhuta said to Yadu, in this way, Pingala became peaceful through desirelessness. 306. By desirelessness, she snapped the ropes of attachment and false hopes, and Pingala thus became free from wishes. The person who has no desire achieves unlimited bliss and happiness at all times.
आशा हि परमं दुःखं नैराश्यं परमं सुखं यथा सञ्छिद्य कान्ताशां सुखं सुष्वाप पिङ्गला.
Meaning of the verse, hope is the greatest misery and its absence is the greatest joy for Pingala. Getting rid of her hope of having a paramour enjoyed a peaceful sleep. 307. Where there is hope, there is attachment, there is meekness, and a sense of my all are dancing around hope. 308. Great sorrow is the neighbor of hope. It is hope which compels a man to commit sins, and with it, all the wrongdoings live happily together. 309. All anti-religious actions live with hope. Hope does not consider untouchable anybody and anything. Hope does not consider any time as unauspicious. Hope destroys all good actions. 310. Hope compels a man to serve the lowest and dirtiest person, creates devotion even towards the low caste people. Hope does not spare even the departed soul. He hopes for heavenly pleasures. Hope goes near even a dead body. 311. As soon as the Anant, the unlimited, was touched by hope to usurp the king Bali, he had to be a midget. Hope has belittled even the gods, what of others? 312. The God Almighty, who is the ruler of the entire world for eternity, was made a beggar by hope, and he went to the door of an enemy of gods to beg. That resulted in compelling him to become a god at the enemy's door. 313. There is no happiness when there is hope. There is great sorrow where hope rules. Hope is detrimental to happiness of everyone. So hope is the main wrongdoer. 314. Only when hope is removed totally from a person, he is happy. Even God, the Creator, and others bow to him, and all the eight occult powers became his maidservant. 315. The feelings of men who have conquered hope are pure and gold, and is their roommate, their companion. Even the kings and gods do not disobey the world of a man who is free from desire and hope. 316. A man who has no hope is really intelligent. One who is rid of hope is a real man of discretion. All the four kinds of liberations always offer salutations to such a man. 317. Lack of hope is a mental state which is the most sacred place of pilgrimage. Lack of hope or desire is the achievement of seekers of liberty, and altruism resides always near the state of freedom from hope. 318. Asceticism embraces desire-free mind. The Lord Hrishikesh is always keen to see such a man who has no attachment and hope. 319. When a lack of hope is seen, suffering runs away. There is permanent happiness with the state of having no hope, and contentment happily plays with that state. 320. The king of Vaikuntha comes running to see a man devoid of any desires. The Lord Mahadev aspires to achieve this state. 321. No mental sorrow comes near the state of no hope, and all ordained duties are companions of this state of what is always shining as a Sat Chit Anand. 322. When one thinks of the state of steady mind without any aspirations and hopes, the God of gods comes running to embrace that man and forgets the name and form. 323. As Pingala took the taste of the state of desirelessness, she dropped her hopes for a paramour and uprooted the very plant of desire. 324. The breakaway from tangles of hopes is the achievement of trance, which gives Pingala a great sense of self-bliss, and she slept happily. 325. She was prostitute with the most deplorable occupation, but being free from her desires, she became a purified soul. This is why I told you her story of repentance and purification. 326. Now the Lord Krishna, patting the back of Uddhava, told him emphatically that in our life there is no better penance than desirelessness. 327. Further narration by Avadhuta. Though Pingala had no authority to recite or study Vedas, she attained self-bliss because she understood the dangers of hope and got rid of all the hopes. 328. Thus, all efforts by body, by speech, and by mind should be made only to attain the state of lack of hope. On the path of liberation, there is no other better approach than desirelessness. 329. All the efforts, all the undertakings of penances are for attaining stillness of mind where not a single hope takes root. So he who is successful in eradicating all the hopes in the mind had virtually stormed the altruistic way of life and has victory on that path. 330. At this moment, great compassion arose in the heart of Avadhuta, and he caressed Yadu with all love and told, my advice to you is that you should achieve this state free of all desires. 331. Eknath is a servant of Janardana. He enjoys his full blessing. That Janardana is one who snaps the bondages of hope and gives the real peace of mind. Here ends the Marathi commentary by Saint Eknath on the 8th chapter of 11th skandha of the Bhagawat Purana, dedicated to Lord Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Arpan.
Awesome. Excellent, Sri Hariji. you give your thoughts of what you felt while reading.
Yeah, like look, today's verses, like when we think of the situation of a prostitute and the situation she was in at a very low level of life, when uh, she has no desires, when she doesn't have any aspirations, or no hopes of doing anything, and just surrendering to the Lord, she got the bliss. So the summary is, I felt, is we should, I don't know when, but we should attain a state of complete surrender to the God, just as we discussed in the last few sessions also. But yet we have aspirations, we have ambitions, we have desires, and we again fall into the same. The well analogy was very of
Mm.
telling how people fall into it. That's what I
Beautiful.
touched me from 325
Yes.
verse 1. So,
Yeah. The well analogy starts at that OV 273. So
270.
worldly life is a dark, deep well, and that description was mind-blowing.
Correct.
Beautiful. We should reread those few OVs starting from 273. And amazing, the correlation of what in the well and what is in the life. That was
Correct.
beautiful. And hope, over here, of course, they have used it as synonym to desire. Hmm? Kama. So hope and kama. And the word in the sloka was asha and nirasha. But if we will take it in terms of Hindi or Marathi, it is in the negative connotation. Nirasha means like disappointment, but in Sanskrit, it is not in that way. So nirasha is without asha, means without a kama, without a desire. And so sometimes we should always remember that if we are put in a difficult situation and we are not able to come out, come what may, and to the edge we are pushed, and now it's a rock bottom we are hit. There is no other way to go. And from that earnestness, whatever dawns in us and that makes us push upwards, means that's the only way. That is the point of surrender, and that Pingala achieved. And that's why she could sleep thereafter peacefully when she dropped that desire. Otherwise, she's waiting for a customer. She's trying so hard to allure somebody. She has dressed up, made up herself, standing at the door, going inside out. Her desperation for the customer is shown. And then how she got out of the desperation is shown. And that complete surrender. And that, so it's a very beautiful way to uh, get ourselves inspired that how to drop a desire and to see it as a limited entity. Whatever we are hunting out in the world would be a finite goal only. And whatever we would achieve out in the world would be finite only. So when we will realize the finitude of what we are seeking is not giving us permanent happiness, then to the infinite we'll probably reach. But otherwise, then from one finite to another finite object or a person or experience, we are keeping on hopping. Beautiful reading. Anybody has any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think the directness of this OV, when a serpent bites a man, he finds jaggery bitter and neem leaves are sweet to him, so he eats them hurriedly. So much, it's so true, right? When you're caught in this whole bitter state in your own mind, even sweet words of somebody are not pleasing. And when you're in a happier state, then you can take even crap and nonsense from someone, because you have the ability to ward it off. It's incredible how settling yourself into that state of this eternal happiness, and
Yeah.
knowing that can give you so much power in all situations.
Yes, very true. Very true. And another perspective of that bitter and sweet is our Gita verse. Yatta Dagre Vishwam. And then- So that is also a correlation. We feel that that's giving us joy, but then later it's going to give us sorrow. And the tougher times we like as simple as getting up early in the morning. It's so tough. But then when we start reaping the benefits of it or exercise, it's so very strenuous to exercise on a regular way. New Year, everybody would sign up for whatever or take resolutions. And then it dies out because it needs effort. But then at the end of those efforts, when the results are seen, that is the motivation factor to continue further. So that is also one correlation of sleep and victim. Any more thoughts?
Shaji, but why this word hope is used like this, like as though it's wrong to have hope? I felt the usage of the word hope, instead of hope, they should have used a desire. Because we
So,
always say, have hope, don't lose hope. So,
yeah, so that's why I cleared that
so
over here.
somehow
We have to take,
I could not, I
so here, and he has mentioned that somewhere. Let me find out that hope is, he has used it synonym to desire. And not this. So I cleared that lack of hope or desire, 317. So there we get. They are using desire, hope and desire as a. So many times with this translation, we'll find some little difficulty. If you see in 317, he said lack of hope or desire. So you got that word. So they're using desire basically. And to achieve hopelessness, they have not said desirelessness she has achieved. So in that sense, so that's
yeah,
why I clear that what Maharaji wants over here
sorry,
is there's not asha nirasha in the terms of Hindi Marathi. It's in terms of kama. So in that sense, it is the desire. Hmm. So where there is hope, like 307, huh? Where there is hope, there is attachment, there is meekness, a sense of my all dancing around hope. That where there is hope is where there is desire. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the closing prayers. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु Hari Om, everyone. I've just got one thing to say. Monday, do you want to start with chapter 9? But then there will be a big break because Tuesday I'm traveling. Or we hold on and then once I return back, we can. So there is a suddenly crop up of desire to go to, so don't have desire and all. Yeah, desire to go to Kumbh is coming up. So I just want to travel over there. Whatever stampede or whatever crowd, I just don't care. Uh,
Have a
I will
safe
just,
journey.
thank
Maybe we bump into
you.
you.
There's no booking or anything done. I'm just going to get up and go. That's how it is. Come back probably in 2 weeks'
But
time.
Varshaji, I think third they say is going to be Basant Panchami, so
Yeah, so I'm
the
not going
crowd
on
will be
third.
there.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
try
going
not to
on.
go on the third.
Third is Monday. So
Yeah.
Monday I'm there. That's why I said Monday if we want we can start. Third I'm not going. After that I'll travel. Tuesday I'll travel. But I'm not like it's like multiple places. Bombay first to Santosh and then to sister and then to brother.
Okay.
And they have done such crazy flight charges and such
Yeah.
crazy hotel charges. So I'm just going to drive all the way, some
Oh,
1,400 kilometers
wow.
and experiment whatever comes on the way. So I'm going in an uncertain zone. So I'm not sure. I'll keep all posted. But
Have a safe trip. I'm sure it'll be good.
okay, I wish you also the same.
Yes,
You
I'm
have
also
also gone there.
thinking about it. Yeah, waiting. Next Thursday, I should be in Kashi,
Oh,
Varanasi. Then from there, the next day,
very spiritual, uplifting journey for you,
oh,
Lataji.
yeah, waiting.
Padmaji, when you are going?
Leela Man's gone there to see Kumbh Mela.
Yes. So I have
Third
to
time
go.
she's going all alone.
Yes, we have to. There is no other choice. Those who want to just get up and go is what I feel.
Yeah.
And just
Actually,
obey
even my son told I only didn't allow him going so far away.
You cannot stop like that. Yeah, that's not nice. Don't hold on to your son. Let him go. Just go and tell him, go, go where you have to go, please go. Okay. See, I don't know whether you all have seen how that stampede happened. The management is excellent.
Yeah.
The commissioner is announcing on the mic, there is a stampede-like situation. Please don't sleep over here. You have finished your bath. Please get up and go. Don't block. Keep the flow. But it seems people were sleeping on the ghat after their bath at 1 a.m. And this police is announcing on the mic. I saw that video. Jo sovat hai, wo khovat hai. Jago, jago. Like that and all. He's keeping and announcing all that. But they didn't listen. And I saw at the time when the barricade was getting broken by the massive crowd, because it was choker block. This is one of the thing I have seen. But the backstory, what I have heard, that there were people with some red flag and who made the crowd push and made the situation. So that they knew that where they have to apply the force all at one time so that they can create it. So, but this I didn't see myself with a red flag, this particular group which came to create a ruckus. But this police was trying their best. So we'll have to just pray for on that aspect.
Just have to pray because it's been going very well and
It's going well.
everybody, the whole
It's
world's eyes
extremely
are
well.
on that.
Yes, it's extremely well managed.
That is why
So
there is
there
a
is
lot
the
of
amount of jealousy of the people
jealousy.
who don't like, the
Any
way India
prosperity or
progresses, the way it is managed.
yes.
And the list of haters for Modi Yogi pair is like infinite. So there will be, but it is absolutely well managed and without fear, we should be able to go there. Are we prepared to walk a lot?
Yeah, we have to walk.
Because if they allow all the vehicles, then there will be
I think they don't after a
a
certain
normal temple rush of a Shivratri is like few thousand, few lakhs. This is few crores at a time. So we have to just adjust to the volume of that crowd.
I believe you have to walk 10 kilometers, Sasha.
Yes, that's yeah. So that's from the parking, depending upon where your place is. But
Yeah.
if you've got a place in the tent or something, then
That's
your
right.
vehicle can come up to the tent. And your walking is not so much, 2-3 kilometers. But if you're living somewhere else, then yeah, then because people are walking at a time, there are 5 crores, 3 crores. How to the volume is. It's like few countries' total population it is at one
Yeah,
place.
exactly. Population of US, I believe.
That's like on a whole thing. Let's see. Singapore is like what, 6-7 million.
Yes.
But yesterday from Mauni Amavasya, there were 100 million who have finished their life. At the point there were 100 million people. Means the volume we can't. Anyway, so that's that. We just keep in prayers. So I think we will take a pause and then I'll update in the group. Monday, our Narayanian class 1 will happen. Tuesday will not happen. Tuesday because I'm traveling. So Monday we will see. And then I'll keep posted because even I'm not sure when and how and what.
Have good darshan, Varshaji. You will be.
Thank you.
Okay, Varshaji, be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishnaji.
Thank you, Varshaji.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.